Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I have a crystal shop called Cosmic Geology, and here on this channel I make crystal videos, small business videos, so if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to subscribe because I put out new videos sometimes. Trying to get back to that once a week schedule, but we'll see. Today's crystal chat video is going to be all about pyrite. If you're interested in more of these types of videos where I do a deep dive into one specific crystal and talk about its geology and spiritual properties, I have a whole video of crystal chats. I will have it linked above. So let's get right into pyrite. Pyrite, also known as fool's gold, is an iron sulfide mineral. Pyrite is an extremely common mineral. It is found in all types of rocks, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, and all across the world. It is easily identifiable by its golden metallic shine and its noticeably high density compared to other crystals. Pyrite is usually found in small quantities, usually within other rocks, so even though it contains iron, it doesn't make a very good ore for iron. Pyrite is commonly formed in iron-rich sedimentary environments where decaying organic matter releases sulfur. This is where you get interesting fossils that have been pyritized, like for example, ammonites, where the original matter has been replaced by pyrite. Pyrite is often found alongside and intermixed with other minerals. For example, you'll almost always see pyrite in lapis lazuli. You might also see pyrite growing on top of quartz or within quartz. I think my favorite combination with pyrite is shungite with pyrite. I just think the black and gold is such a striking, unique combination. This material is sometimes called pyrite on basalt, but once I got this material in person, I could definitely tell it was not basalt because it is very soft, so it is definitely shungite. Another interesting combination of pyrite is pyrite and agate. I've had my eye on this material for a while, ever since it started coming out, but I never got it for my shop because I just wanted to make sure that it was natural. There's nothing about it that particularly raises any alarm bells to me for being fake. It's just so interesting and cool that I wanted to make sure I wasn't getting duped. Let me know if you know anything about this material. Pyrite is a polymorph with the mineral marcasite, which means they have the same chemical composition, but they have different crystal structures. Pyrite is isometric and marcasite is orthorhombic. An isometric crystal system can be cubic, with cubes being one of the forms that these isometric minerals can take. Pyrite is known for its unique cube formation, but it can also take on other shapes of the isometric crystal system, such as octahedrons, dodecahedrons. Pyrite is found all across the world in all different types of rocks. It is literally everywhere. Pyrite on the market is found in the US, Canada, Peru, Mexico, Italy, Spain, and many more places. Pyrite is not water safe, so I would avoid getting it wet in contact with water in any way, or even leaving it in humid environments. Pyrite can actually rust if it comes into contact with water, and once pyrite starts to rust, this chemical reaction may create potentially harmful gases, and this rust spreads to other crystals. Personally, I've never seen a piece of pyrite rusting. I've had pyrite in my collection for years. It's never rusted, so this isn't a particularly common thing that you need to be looking out for. Pyrite is actually not very water soluble, which means it's not readily going to release its iron and sulfur when placed in water. Even so, I would never make a crystal elixir with pyrite, or any other crystal for that matter. You definitely don't want to be soaking metals in your water that you're going to be drinking, so definitely don't make any crystal elixirs with pyrite. While pyrite doesn't necessarily release its elements into the water, it can contain trace amounts of other elements such as arsenic that you obviously don't want to be consuming, so there's just no reason to keep pyrite in water. It's not worth the risk. You also don't want to keep pyrite in crystal candles where the heat can potentially cause a chemical reaction. They're perfectly fine to top on top of crystals as long as you take them out before burning, but heating pyrite to that level can potentially cause a chemical reaction and release gases. Pyrite is perfectly fine to leave in the sun to charge, but watch out because it will be really hot. Pyrite has a hardness of 6 to 6.5 out of 10 on the Mohs scale of hardness, which means it has pretty decent durability for use in jewelry or keeping alongside other crystals. There's a lot of questions about if pyrite is even safe to wear due to its iron, sulfur, and potentially arsenic. Pyrite is actually safe to wear, even with these potentially toxic elements. The elements within a mineral are bonded together, so usually they're not going to just rub off when you're handling it. Usually it takes some sort of chemical reaction, such as adding heat to the crystal in order to get things moving. Just handling the stone or wearing it under completely normal conditions is not going to cause you any harm. Plus, with most of these elements, you would need to be ingesting them in pretty large quantities to cause you any physical harm, so as long as you keep the crystals out of your mouth, you'll probably be fine. If you are wearing pyrite jewelry, just try to limit contact with water when you're wearing it, and maybe wash your hands after handling it if you're concerned. You could also choose a piece of jewelry that is mounted onto a backing, like a silver pendant, where the mineral isn't directly touching your skin. So while pyrite does contain potentially harmful elements, these elements aren't just ready to fly off and be absorbed into your skin. Pyrite may also be tarnished if you're using it and holding it for long periods of time, but it can be repolished. While pyrite is relatively hard, it's also quite brittle, so it can break kind of easily, so if you drop it, it might break. The best way to cleanse pyrite energetically would be with sunlight, selenite, or smoke cleansing. I wouldn't recommend dry salt, especially not salt water for pyrite, as this could damage the stone. When it comes to the quality of pyrite, it's kind of all the same. There aren't any unique color variations with pyrite. It all just kind of looks like pyrite. But there are a couple things to look out for if you're looking to choose a high quality piece, and a couple different factors that can affect the price. Standard quality pieces of pyrite are extremely cheap and accessible. Pieces like this that are lacking well-defined crystals are very cheap. They're literally a dime a dozen. You should not be paying more than a couple dollars for a piece that looks like this. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine, perfectly standard, normal, decent quality. It's just simply a cheap, very abundant stone. Standard quality pyrite can either be super polished and smooth, or it can be partially polished with open pockets of crystals. Larger pieces of polished pyrite might be a little more expensive compared to similar crystals of its size, just because pyrite is quite heavy, which can make the price a little higher. I actually don't get pyrite in my shop very often due to this reason, because if I'm buying pyrite by weight as opposed to by piece, it seems like I end up getting a bad price just because pyrite is so heavy, so you don't get that many pieces per kilo. And pyrite shouldn't be a super expensive stone. Individual pyrite cubes or pyrite cubes on matrix are also pretty common to find, and they're super cool and fun. High quality pieces of pyrite are usually those that have a unique crystal structure, or they're included with another mineral that is a unique combination. I've noticed the most expensive pieces of pyrite are the ones that have the octahedron or dodecahedron shape with very well-defined crystals. I had these beautiful pyrite on quartz specimens in my shop from the Tucson Gem Show last year. I loved these so much. They were kind of pricey. I really wish I had gotten more, and I wish I had kept one for myself. The little quartz points were so small and cute. They looked like little grains of rice, and the pyrite crystals had such a unique shape. They had striations. Some of them were long tabular crystals. They were just so beautiful. So if you got one of these very few pieces that I got from the gem show, you are lucky. Unfortunately, when it comes to pyrite, there are a couple of fake situations to look out for. Pyrite itself is not really ever faked. It's kind of hard to fake a metal. You can't easily mistake a metal like pyrite for a piece of plastic, but there are some pyrite included pieces on the market that are man-made. While pyrite can naturally form on and within clear quartz like this, these spheres are man-made. The pyrite included in these spheres looks to be real. It looks perfectly fine, but it is either lab grown or glued together and constructed artificially. It seems like it's just a matrix of a bunch of perfectly spaced pyrite cubes with a perfectly solid clear quartz coating on top. So these pyrite matrices have probably been glued together to a piece of quartz, or the smelted quartz is poured on top, and then they're cut and polished from there. I'm not exactly sure what the process is for making these, but the clear indication that these are man-made is how it's perfectly split between matrix with pyrite cubes, perfectly clear quartz on top. In natural pyrite included pieces, the pyrite is kind of randomly strewn throughout the clear quartz, and there's natural texture, inclusions, imperfections that a natural clear quartz crystal would have. If one half of the sphere is perfectly solid and the other half is perfectly clear, that's probably a man-made crystal. Also, these man-made crystals always seem to look exactly the same. There's really no variation between them, whereas the natural ones are always more unique. And while the fakes can sometimes be a little pricey, they're usually a lot cheaper than a natural piece. Here are some examples I saw on Etsy of some fake ones. If you're looking at the crystal straight on, you can't really tell how half and half it is, but once you look at the video of the person moving the crystal around, you see that clear cut half and half. So it's a dead giveaway that this is man-made. And here's some examples of some genuine, authentic ones. You can see the price definitely reflects the authenticity. The only other thing I saw to look out for when I was looking up pyrite on Etsy was these lab-grown, interesting concoctions. If you looked at the description for pieces like this, it actually does say that these are lab-grown, but if you're not looking closely, you might mistake this for a genuine specimen. And for these, it looks like the crystals themselves are real, possibly lab grown, but they look to be authentic crystals. So they're pretty cool. They look kind of like an art piece, and it looks like the crystals are genuine, whether they be lab grown or like glued together and constructed in some way. So there's nothing wrong with buying them. They look cool. They're nice art pieces. They weren't super expensive. Just stay on the lookout if you're looking for some sort of natural, authentic specimen. It did not come out of the earth looking this way. Something like this looks pretty similar to the lab-grown specimen, but this is something that is completely authentic. I am always sketched out by crystals where there are a bunch of clear quartz points, like all different sizes going in all different directions. Like it just doesn't look like a natural formation. Like of course there can be clear quartz clusters, but something about these lab-grown things just, they don't look like they're formed the same way that quartz naturally forms. So if you see a bunch of points just all sticking out perfectly where they should be, that's probably lab grown. A similar mineral to pyrite is chalcopyrite, also known as peacock ore, and this is a copper iron sulfide mineral. So it's very similar to pyrite, but it has copper in it. Chalcopyrite has a metallic brassy color similar to pyrite, but it does have some distinguishing features. Chalcopyrite is often multicolored, and while this does look like an artificial like titanium aura coating, this is actually natural. It can be found in just a yellowy metallic color as well, but it is very often colorful. Chalcopyrite is significantly softer than pyrite with a hardness of only 3.5 to 4, whereas pyrite is 6 to 6.5. This material is also cheap and very abundant, just like pyrite is. While pyrite does look pretty similar to some other metals, it doesn't really get mislabeled for anything out there on the market, except maybe sometimes chalcopyrite and pyrite can get confused, but usually pyrite is pyrite. It doesn't get mislabeled or faked very often. While pyrite is called fool's gold due to its resemblance to the mineral element gold, there probably won't ever be a time where you'll need to distinguish between if a mineral is gold or pyrite. In fact, there's quite a lot of differences between pyrite and gold, and they don't really look all that similar when you compare the two. Gold is a much more vibrant yellow color, and it is significantly more dense than pyrite. Gold is also so much softer with a hardness of only 2.5. Of course, the biggest difference between pyrite and gold is the price. The price alone should tell you if what you're looking at is gold or pyrite. Pyrite is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and it is one of the best crystals, in my opinion, for wealth and money. It helps with your manifestations by increasing willpower, confidence, and promotes taking action. It improves energy and vitality so you can achieve your goals and get things done even if it's challenging. It is one of the best stones to activate the solar plexus chakra and bring back your energy and passion for life. Pyrite's energy provides protection and stability, allowing you to feel more secure in yourself and in your environment. It's a great stone for business owners as it increases wealth, provides security in your business, and boosts your confidence and power so you can be the best, most successful version of yourself. When going through a difficult time, pyrite can help provide you with the stamina and strength to keep going while also protecting your energy. Pyrite helps you to work through your fears and allows you to take action and risks, all while feeling protected and empowered. Working with pyrite can help you when you're in leadership roles, allowing you to lead with confidence and authenticity. Pyrite can help you feel more inspired and passionate about living life. It may help you pick up old projects that you had lost the motivation to complete. It can also help you with creativity and problem solving. Pyrite is a great stone to wear as a good luck charm or to place it somewhere in your home like your office to attract wealth and abundance. Some crystals you can pair pyrite with are citrine. Pyrite and citrine is the best combination for manifesting money. Pyrite and smoky quartz provides protection and stability in your life. Pyrite with tiger's eye promotes power, courage, and leadership. Pyrite with malachite helps you take action and it facilitates big changes in your life. Pyrite with jade or green aventurine is a great good luck charm. Pairing pyrite with fluorite can help you focus and get more things done. Pairing pyrite with any crystal that you're working with for a certain intention in your life, such as rose quartz for love, will help increase success in that area of your life. So that's all I have today for you about pyrite. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something new. Be sure to comment any other topics or specific crystals you'd like me to talk about. And as always, I will have my crystal shop, second channel, and all my other links linked down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bless you. Ooh, me and Marmalade are all sneezing today.